Shalom, Shalom, Kohalayim La, Abanawi Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Wachak Barash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who have taught us all this truth in the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. I'm Shaquat, and I'm back here with another quick lesson, Lord willing and satisfying to the hopeful elect, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham. To you, sincere Akim, Wathim, and a sincere shalom to you brothers out there pushing the truth out on the highways and the byways and through the YouTube blessings, man. Shalom to you all. Lord willing and satisfying and exhorting to the elect. So I just want to get into it real quick. Fair use. This be under the Fair Use Copyrights Act of 1976 for all public information. And this video will be used for the purposes of education and news reporting. This video will not be monetized. All right. Now let's save this too for another lesson. Well, damn. Well, shit. Then he did what? Salaki, this ain't nothing I had in mind of getting on. Hold on. Crazy work. Fuck Jesus, we don't care. How oil prices cannot be sustained globally, of course. Damn. Would that be surprising? Nigga, no. That's hollering. I'm hollering, man. That's crazy. All right, whatever. So let's go to it. You know, it's gonna be a quick hit. Let me find that. Where is it at? Here we go.
We must put America first. This is
Hold on.
a nation. We must put America first. This is a nation that invented the light bulb, the telegraph, the television, the telephone, the computer chip, the smartphone, the GPS, the integrated circuit, and even the internet. Basically, we invented everything. What is left? We invented everything. And now it's AI. We invented everything. Does anyone have anything else to say? We must put America first. This is
Let's look at these comments. Yeah, anyway, as I was saying, so you see Trump trying to say, you know, America invented everything, right? And when he says America invented everything, essentially he's trying to say so-called white people invented all things, right? Which we know that is not the case, correct? So let's show you through the scriptures that, and you saw through all
nation that invented the light
look at that, invented the light bulb. They got, you know, Jake.
bulb.
And this is a few things. This is just a few things, man. A few things, more recent, you know, type things. You know, telephone.
Telegraph, the television,
Telegraph, forgive me. The television.
the telephone,
Now telephone. Jake.
the computer chip phone,
Second mention. Hold on.
computer, the smartphone, the GPS, the...
Forgive me.
We must put America first. This is a nation that invented the light bulb,
Light bulb.
the telegraph, the television, the telephone,
Second mention. Telephone and light bulb.
the computer computer
Jake,
chip, the smartphone,
Jake,
the GPS,
a Jake woman,
the integrated
Jake,
circuit, and even the internet. Basically, we invented everything.
no, Jake invented everything, man. All right, Jake did all this. All right, we're gonna prove it through the Bible. All right, by simply doing a simple search. Jacob is former. All right, so we're gonna read this in both. All right, both parts. All right, it basically says the same thing, but why not? This is Jeremiah 10 and 16. The portion of Jacob is not like them, meaning we are set apart from all these other nations, correct? Deuteronomy 7 and 6. All right, hell, you have Leviticus 20 and 26, where the Lord said he severed us from all these other nations, man. All right, he severed us. All right, let's show you that. Let's pause here. Let's go to Leviticus 20 and 26. All right, the Lord said, and ye shall be holy unto me, for I, the Lord, am holy, and have severed you from other people, that ye should be mine. So we have been severed from everybody else. The Lord severed us from all nations, so we are separated. We are not like them. When you go to Deuteronomy 32, right? This is Deuteronomy 32. Let's go up here to verse 8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, gave each nation a portion of land, even Esau. When he separated the sons of Adam, all right, which basically is talking about the nations of Shem, the nations of Ham, and the nations of Japheth. He set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. So everything was set to be most beneficial towards the Israelites, all right? Because the Israelites is basically all that's important, all right? The most important thing in creation. It says, for the Lord's portion is his people. Who is his people? Well, it's going to tell you. Jacob is the lot of his inheritance. So when you go back to Leviticus 20 and 26, this is talking about Israel clearly. Leviticus was written to the Israelites. Who wrote that? Moses. That was written to the nation of Israel. When you go here to Deuteronomy 7 and 6, or you could go to Deuteronomy 14 and 2. But it says, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people, but because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers. Hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh king of Egypt? Know therefore that the Lord thy power, he is God, and faithful, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Now, I'm going to stop there. Point is, we are above all nations. We're separate. We're a special, peculiar people. Right? So when you go here, search all that up again. Jacob, former. Hold on. Former. All things. Let's read that again. Jeremiah 10 and 16. The portion of Jacob is not like them. We're not like the other nations, man. We are holy. Holy literally means set apart. All right, let's show you. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 7. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. Let's go to that word holy. When you go into the word saint, that's talking about holy. Well, who are the holy? The Israelites. All right. So see this, right? It says sacred, holy, holy one, saint. See, saint. Here's what I wanted. Set apart. So we are set apart. We have been severed. We are not like you other nations, man. All right, we're not like you. All right, so let's read this again, Salakia. Jeremiah 10 and 16. We just got to get that out the way, man. You know, for people who lack understanding. You know, the portion of Jacob is not like them, For he is the former of all things. When you go into the word former, we just go into this right here. All right. Go into that word. Former, Yashar. All right. Yashar. Or Yasar. I'm saying Yasar, forgive me. Or however you say it. When you go into it, it says to form, fashion, frame, all right, of human activity, of creation, of original creation. Look at that. Let's keep going. To be formed, be created. Let's see. Maker, fashion, potter. All right. Let's see. Earthen. Let me see what else we got here. To mold into a form. Let's see. So yeah, a maker or a molder into something that, or to mold into a form, or a maker. So a creator, all right, a creator. That's what it goes into, man. Jacob being a former of all things. So let's back up out of this again. Jeremiah 10:16, the portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former, creator, inventor of all things. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance. All right, like it said in Deuteronomy 32. The Lord of hosts is his name. Let's read Jeremiah 51:19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, but he is the former of all things. And Israel is the rod of his inheritance, and the Lord of hosts is his name. Let's see what the MSG has to say about this. MSG, Jeremiah. Jeremiah 10:16, MSG. But the portion of Jacob is the real thing. He put the whole universe together. He put the whole universe together. He pays special attention to Israel. His name, God of the angel armies. That's a solid translation. I expected something a little more, but, you know, let's see what this gives me. Look at that. But God of Israel, okay, now it's saying, see the other, this translation going off. This is literally talking about the Israelites, not the Heavenly Father. All right, hold on, that translation going off. We can read this one. He who is the portion of Jacob is not like these, for he is the maker of all things, including Israel, the people of his inheritance. Well, see, this is going off. It sounded good until it got to that part. So these translations be going off at times. So the KJV is good, more than great enough. You know, this is good enough. Most accurate translation that we have today. All right, so anyway, and for the people who say, no, that's not true. Well, these other translations that you have are newer. The KJV, King James, who was an Israelite also, you know, when you look into all that stuff, what was going on over there in Europe, you know, England and all that stuff, Queen Elizabeth and all that stuff. I think Queen Elizabeth was his mother. Salakia, if I'm not mistaken, though. But anyway, you know, people try to, you know, spew on King, you know, on King James, saying he was a rapist and all that. He was a Mo. He wasn't none of that. So stop it. All right. Anyway, KJV is the most accurate translation of the Bible we have today because it was the first version that was directly transliterated. All right, that was directly transliterated. Well, let me see if I'm using the right word. Let me see if I'm using the right word. Transliterated. Yeah, let's just make sure I'm using the right word. Okay, so KJV was the first version that was translated and transliterated, because both took place. Because sometimes things are stated here that's kind of like, oh no, that was some loss in translation, right? So it was translated and transliterated. All right, the first one, from the Greek, from the Hebrew, the Greek, and the Latin to English. You could look up the history on that if you don't believe us. All right, just do your research. I'm not gonna go all the way looking on Google, showing you all these different. Listen, do your own research. We already looked for ourselves when we first came into this thing, so we believe it. We don't have to fucking go into all that again. You do your own research, as the apostles always say. Nigga, if you don't believe it, you don't believe it. Or you could just look on your own and see that we not lying. All right? You have to be persuaded in your own mind. Nigga, that's just the facts. All right, but anyway, Israel creates everything. We are the inventors. Hell, the universe was created by us. All right, Lord willing, we are of that number. Yahweh gave the blueprint. Yahweh created Yahweh Shai. Then through that, Yahweh Shai created the 144,000. All right, which are the prophets, the body, right? And then Yahweh gave Yahweh Shai and the 144,000, Lord willing, would be at that number, as brothers, right? He gave us the blueprint, and we went and created everything else through that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. When you go to Genesis 1:1, that God there, it goes back into the modern day Yiddish Hebrew word, all right, which is Elohim, which really goes back to the Paleo Hebrew, which is Alahayim, all right? Alahayim, which means powers, angels, gods, divine ones, etc. So those are talking about Yahweh Shai and the 144. All right? But nonetheless, we are literally the former of all things through that. And Jacob creates everything. You saw all the pictures the dude put up in the edit. Jacob create everything, man. And that's point blank, period. So anyway, I'm in that lesson off there now. It's supposed to be just a quick hit. So I want to close this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to our power, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rachak Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught us all this truth and the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, Abba Ball, Kwame Yasharallah, Gadol, Abadium, Lobabal, Hogadol, Yahweh Mahar, Wahabatham. And until next time, I would like to say unto you all, Shalom.